to our partners from JICA and KISTI, Mr. Atsushi Yamanaka of JICA and Mr. Jae-gyun Ham of KISTI, whose perspectives we will hear shortly. Thank you for graciously sharing your time and expertise with us. To DOST-ASTI Director Dr. Franz De Leon, to ASTICON 2026 Chairperson Ms. Joanna G. Sihuko, to our colleagues from ASTI, DOST, to our partner agencies, representatives from the academe and industry, to our friends from the regions, and to all who have made ASTICON 2026 possible, makaagham na araw po sa inyong lahat. Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. We meet at a moment when artificial intelligence, geospatial intelligence, advanced computing, and data-driven governance and our operating realities, shaping how nations govern, how economies compete, how communities prepare for disasters, and how citizens access services. Today's event is not only a technology moment, it is also a governance moment. The more powerful our tools are, the more important our standards become. Secure data, accountable systems, transparent processes, and public value. If science and technology are not to strengthen trust, they must be organized deliberately and deployed responsibly. In May of last year, the President approved the National AI Strategy of the Philippines, or the NAIS Philippines Framework. Backed by presidential coordination, we envision artificial intelligence in the Philippines to be human-centered, to serve Filipino priorities, and to position the country as a center for excellence in artificial intelligence through a whole-of-nation approach. To translate the strategy into operating capability, DOST established the National AI Center for Research and Innovation, or NICRI, which we launched in February. NICRI anchors our national AI research and development infrastructure, our research and talent pipeline, and our governance, so that AI capability in the Philippines is not contingent on a single program, a single budget cycle, or a single administration. Talent that grows beyond its first cohort, governance that matters or matures with technology, infrastructure that universities, agencies, and enterprises can plan against 10 years from now because it will still be there. NICRI was built around a question I posed at its launch and continue to pose: for whose benefit? That question is the bridge between the two sides of the moment: technology and governance. It is how capability earns public trust by becoming useful in Filipino lives, not only impressive in laboratories. Today, I want to extend it. Once we know for whose benefit, we must also ask what these capabilities now enable our partners in government, academe, industry, and the regions to deliver. The theme of ASTICON 2026, Preparing Tomorrow, Today, reminds us why this matters. Preparation is not just a posture, but the discipline of building capability before the moment of need and asking always for whose benefit we are building. For too long, our country's science and technology efforts look like a constellation of brilliant but disconnected projects, each impressive on its own, few of them reusable. The shift we are making together is from project-based work to institutional capability, from things we built to things others can use. DOST is making that shift through the Elevate Research and Development Programs, 8 big-ticket R&D programs. Elevate Philippines is how we translate national direction into infrastructure, talent, and institutions. Two of those programs anchor the conversation today. The first is the Geospatial Analytics and Technology Solutions, or GATES program, the DOST's Geospatial Analytics program. Through GATES and with partners such as DOST FIVOX, DOST ASTI, and all the other agencies, regional and provincial offices of DOST, the department is organizing our geospatial datasets across disaster risk, health, environment, infrastructure, and many other themes, breaking down silos so that data becomes a shared foundation for better decisions across agencies, sectors, and regions. What this enables is both practical and immediate. For example, when a typhoon approaches, response agencies can work from the same picture of risk and exposure. When public health needs to anticipate where outbreaks may cluster, the data is connected to where people actually live and work. When infrastructure is planned, decisions can be made against the geography of disasters, environment, and the need, not against fragmented spreadsheets held in separate offices. The second is advancing computing, computing analytics, big data, and artificial intelligence in the Philippines. That is why our Akabay PH, our Elevate PH R&D program for AI, the program through which NICRE delivers AI capability at scale. Through Akabay PH, DOST has built a national AI as a service backbone. The goal is not for every agency or every researcher and every MSME to start from zero. The goal is to make trusted models, datasets, and tools easier to access, to adopt, and to deploy. Through our DOST regional offices, we are bringing that capability to enterprises across the country, not in the capital alone, but in our regions, where the question of who gets to use these technologies is most consequential. This is what no new digital divides looks like in practice. None of these rests on new ground. DOST Access Computing and Archiving Research Environment, or COARE, our high-performance computing facility, and our Pregenet, our research and education network, have supported national research for years. What is new is that these foundations are now being woven into a coherent national fabric. Built once, used by many, these are not parallel achievements of separate teams. They are two phases of the same commitment that the Philippines is moving from project based to institutional, from showcases to shared services. That is the shift, shared capabilities. Capability per se is not yet impact. Machines do not innovate on behalf of a nation. People do. When they have the skills, the tools, the data, and institutions that allow them to turn knowledge into solutions. Shared capabilities become national impact only when partners bring demand to meet supply, local context to meet technology, adoption pathways to meet pilots, and sustained collaboration to meet sustained capability. This is the work of that no agency and no single government can do alone. To our partners in other government agencies, your problems are our research agenda. The more concretely you bring them to us, the more useful these capabilities become. To our partners in the academe, your research and your students are the talent pipeline that will keep our national institutions alive a decade and more from now. To our partners in the industry, and especially our MSMEs, be bold enough to co-create with us and sustain these initiatives. To our partners in the regions, continue to spur regional development by facilitating technology adoption and providing vital feedback that will keep steer better market fitting. And to our international partners, JICA today, and the wider Asian and global community alongside us in this work, the Philippines comes to this collaboration with capability of its own to contribute. We will not be a passive consumer of advanced technologies, we will be a partner. That is the spirit of this year's theme, Preparing Tomorrow Today, advancing national capabilities through strategic partnerships. It means building capability before the crisis, infrastructure before demand overwhelms us, skills before the gap widens, and partnerships before opportunities pass us by. You will hear more today from our international partners, from Director De Leon, from the teams building these systems, and from the regions putting them to use about what this enabling now makes possible. That is the work before us. Maraming salamat po, and let us begin.